PhD student from India, a DART fellow. So we'll be asking some questions which will be insightful for you guys who are willing to apply for DART fellowship from India or maybe from Asia or anywhere. So let's proceed with the session, kind of interview session. So I have prepared a pre-planned questions. So we'll go through that. And yeah, so first of all, can you just introduce to our audience about yourself and about your background and maybe some current research, non-confidential one, at University of Freiburg. So yeah.
So this is Meghna Thakur, and I'm originally from Punjab, India, North India, and I did my bachelor's and master's in IISER Mohali, and I did my majors in biology there, and now I'm here conducting a research in epigenetics and plant physiology. So yeah, that's that.
Oh, nice. And did you had like previous experiences as well before joining PhD in IISER, like apart from master thesis?
So I did a couple of summer internships which are basically related to the technologies, the techniques that I'm currently using for my PhD, and that also helped me during my thesis. And there are certain new things that I'm learning right now, but there were many things that I did during my master's study and bachelor's as well, because IISER is known for that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So you already had some research
some
experiences.
basic research experience, some basic knowledge, I would say. Not conducting my own research, which I'm doing right now, but yeah.
And what motivated you to pursue PhD, especially here in University of Freiburg?
So the main reason doing a PhD here in Germany first was I found it really nice that people have a balanced work life here, and for a PhD I think that's a really important
Indeed,
aspect. So that was the first thing, and then for the University of Freiburg it was really nice to find out that there is a nice plant science community that I was really hoping to find at the time I was looking for my PhD. But I did how would I say? I did approach a few people, and yeah, it clicked here, and it clicked really nicely.
So within Germany, I guess, not.
Yeah, within Germany, of course.
Yeah, great. Yeah. So, what I suggest is to make a list of professors. Let's say if you're interested in a certain area, so you make a list of professors, and then you reach out to them based on your area of interest. And you should not restrict based on ranking of university or so. So the main priority should be professor's profile.
True.
Yeah.
That's
so
true.
if they are frequently publishing papers, and if lab environment is good, so these kind of things. For example, you are interested in epigenetics and especially in plant biology. So you were looking around that, right?
Yeah, of course.
And this was the best, I would say, probably.
Yes, because that was the best option till the time I started talking to my supervisor over email. But when I had my interviews with him, I finally was selected for this position. At that time, I was very sure that I also want to as excitingly join this place, because my supervisor himself is a very nice person, I would say, and yeah, that really helped for the DAD application as well.
Okay, so nice. So talking about DART fellowship, so can you just walk us through the process, let's say, for people who are not familiar with the process, application process, as well as what the steps to take for preparing the application, let's say whether it is CV, scientific CV, motivation letter, or whatever the documents required. So can you just walk us through that?
Yeah, sure. So the first thing which you need to find is a suitable position. You start looking for your supervisors, as I told you before, and then the most important and the most time-consuming thing in this application process is preparing a decent research proposal, and on which you should start working well in advance. And yeah, other than that, you need a few extracurricular activity certificates, your degree certificates, your motivation letter, your up-to-date CV, and yeah, I think that's that. And sorry to interrupt you. And another thing which is as important as your research proposal is a well-prepared time schedule, because the DAD requires from you every detail that you want to investigate on in your 4 years of study. So you have to give them a particular time schedule for your research.
But for this research proposal, do you have to start working before the application or after reaching out to professor and maybe discussing with certain, let's say, possibility of the projects?
Yeah, of course, after discussing with the supervisor, because your supervisor is also a part to play in your application, right?
Yes.
So you also talk to that person, and then in coordination with your supervisor, at least for me, I think the people have different journeys. So at least for me, it worked out nicely. After reaching out to my professor, we worked on the application together, we worked on the proposal together, and that was it.
So the first thing is to reach out to professor, get a confirmation letter that you are willing to apply for DART fellowship, look for the requirement as pointed out, and professors will help you or guide you through
Yeah.
the research proposal thing,
Yeah.
but the rest of the thing you have to do by yourself.
Yeah.
And I think on the website all the details are also
Yeah,
there.
they are.
So yeah, it's not that it sounds complicated, but if you'll go through that step by step, and I think
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the eligibility criteria for not for PhD but for DART fellowship. For PhD, we know that you need to have masters and let's say 6 months, at least 6 months of research experience. But what about DART fellowship? Is there any like specific criteria?
So there are different programs that you could apply to
Okay.
under DAAD for your PhD. For instance, my funding program is research grants for doctoral programs in Germany.
Okay.
For that, the requirement was that you should have your master's not longer than 6 years before the application deadline.
Okay.
And also you should not be a resident of Germany for more than 15 months for your application. And these are all the details. There are a couple of more, but they are like precisely like very detailed mentioned in the DAAD portal.
Okay.
So yeah, it is very easy to find. Other than my this funding program, you can also look for some graduate school funding programs. They are also a category under DAAD fellowships.
Okay.
You can also find a binational program in which you do half your PhD in your home country and half your PhD in Germany.
Okay.
So that's also a funding program under DAAD for PhD. Yeah.
Okay, so nice. I mean, there isn't any such like specific criteria if they have, let's say, some publication or something.
No, that's
So
not a
if you have
criteria.
masters and if you have
Yeah.
a little bit of
Yeah.
research experience, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So we have already talked about documents, what documents are required, but how, let's say, applicants who are interested in DAAD fellowship, how they can make their application stand out from the rest of the applicants, because I mean it's competitive, right?
Of course.
Many people are applying not only from India but all over country.
Yeah.
And if we talk about India, within India we are 1.4 billion people, so
Yeah.
there are many students who are applying who are interested in DART fellowship. So how they can make their application, let's say, a little bit better, or maybe tailored to the professor, or maybe tailored in a way that at least there are more chances of getting DART fellowship.
So the first thing would be perfect coordination with your supervisor, I would say.
Okay.
And then the second most important thing is that what you make out of that coordination. If you are planning your research proposal, then it should be very well explained and precise as well. What I mean to say by precise is you are sure that you want to do this kind of research, you want to explore this area, but what techniques are you going to use? If this technique is not going to work, what alternative techniques are you going to use?
Okay.
And what are the possible challenges? What are the significance of your study that you have to explain? What you have to elaborate your proposal in different work packages that you're going to deal with.
Okay.
So I did it like this, and it worked out nicely.
So you mean writing in the proposal part?
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, so talking about proposal, how important it is to have a, let's say, outstanding or maybe better research proposal, and can you just share some advices? I mean, you have already shared that you should have a nice coordination with your PI or your potential supervisor, but on top of that, what are other, let's say, tips or advices would you give to applicants
So you
while
should
writing the research proposal?
you should strictly follow their instructions, which is they have a certain page limit
Okay.
that you should not cross. You should have references of what text you are citing.
Okay.
You should give a summary of your whole proposal. You should give a brief summary on top of it at the very first page, I would say. And you should start with a very like basic introduction and then go into the depths of what you're going to do.
Okay.
And yeah, these are the main things. The page limit, I think the font size, accurate font size should be there, not too small, not too big. It shouldn't look like that just to follow the page limit you just decrease the font
Yeah,
size
yeah,
or
yeah.
something or increase it. So I think the requirement per se is the page limit and citing everything that you are coding.
Okay.
I think that's that.
Okay. So I mean, overall, to follow the guideline for the
Yes.
proposal, exactly what they have mentioned,
Yeah.
rather than tweaking something.
Yeah.
And yeah, as Meghna also pointed out, that it should be precise and to summarize in a way that it's like having a research question.
Yeah.
That what is the significance of
Yeah.
your research?
Yeah.
You should come up with yourself. I mean, your supervisor might give you some idea based on a preliminary result, but it's up to you how you are presenting it. For sure, they will help you in kind of drafting it or maybe for editing several times. But they're also busy person because they are professors. So you have to work a lot on that. So it's better if you kind of ask yourself certain questions, like significant of this study and what can be done if something, as Meghna also pointed out, that if something fails, let's say certain methodology or some techniques, then what other alternative methods you can use. So if you know these things, because it can be helpful in during interview
Yeah, of
also,
course,
right?
yeah.
Because they will be asking based on your proposal,
A lot,
your CV,
yeah.
and these like basic questions,
Yeah.
right? Okay, talking about interview process. So was there any interview after application or in the application process itself? And if yes, then can you share some advices to
Yeah,
our
sure.
audience?
Yeah. So as everybody can find it on the website, the application deadline was October 20th of that year, and then it took about 3 months for my interview to happen. So my interview happened at the January end, in the following year,
Okay.
and then it took about 3 months for the interview to be decided on whether I'm selected or not.
Okay.
For the interview part, there was a German professor,
Oh,
two
okay.
Indian professors, and a few people from the DAD team.
Okay.
And my interview happened online, but you also have the provision of offline interview.
Okay.
But since my home was quite far away from Delhi, so I chose the online option. And during the interview, the main two areas that they focused the questions on was my proposal
Okay.
and my motivation letter,
Oh.
which is also very important. And the other area was why I chose Germany, why I chose my university,
Okay.
what I find intriguing about Germany itself, the research in Germany. So these were the two things focused on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, as I say that, I mean, your CV and motivation letter is like 60% of your application.
Yeah.
So for sure they will ask something from there,
Yeah.
and a research proposal. So what like specific questions they, like not the exact question I'm asking, but let's say if you can just guide us through what kind of questions they ask from research proposal, like method based or research based question.
For me, it was more method based.
Okay.
So as I told you before, that you should have an alternative approaches, some of them in your mind, and those were the exact things which were asked me in the interview.
Oh.
So that's why I really like think that they are important, because yeah, my experience says that you are asked questions based on that in
Yeah.
the interview. But yeah, for the interview, you should know about all the techniques that you're using. You should know about what is the difference between the main technique you are focusing on and the alternative technique, and what are the possible consequences. And you should know about the significance of what you're doing. Does it help the society? Are you into sustainability or not? If you are, that's okay. If you're not, that's okay too. But you should be honest.
But yeah, and you have to kind of put your point and
Yeah,
argue
of
against
course,
that.
of course.
Yeah, like kind of convince the
Yeah.
committee members. Yeah. Okay, so I mean we have covered these things like about the DART fellowship requirements and certain advices and tips. But we forgot to one question which is very important, like how someone can approach professor, and what should be kept in mind before approaching certain professors. So if you can just highlight or give some insight on that, because that is also an important thing, right? Before starting the application process for DAD fellows.
That's something you start with technically. So yeah, I would say that when you approach a professor, don't write a very long emails. I would say just be precise about your interest, about why you are interested in working with him or her, why you are interested in working in his lab or lab, and why your skill set matches the work done in his or her lab. And I think that's the main things that you should focus in on when you are writing him, her, and that should be good.
Okay. Yeah. That's I mean, these are very important points.
Yeah.
Because as we said, that professors are busy person and they
Yeah.
don't have that much time, so you have to
Exactly.
write very briefly about yourself in email. So not a very long email. So
Yeah.
you have to convince
Yeah.
within a short
Yeah.
text.
Yeah.
So I mean, many people think that these application process is quite challenging and complicated. So what challenges did you face during the application process, and how did you overcome these challenges? Can you just walk us through that?
Yeah. So applying for a funding, sitting away from your host lab, sitting in your home country, it's a bit difficult to communicate sometimes. But if your supervisor is approachable, or his lab members, her lab members are approachable in a way, then it's fine. The only challenge I had was there was some miscommunication during my interview, but I think that was a very minimal thing. Otherwise, the DAAD team itself is a very efficient and very supporting team, and you can reach out to them in case of any smallest doubt you have.
Okay.
You email them and then they reply you. Like, I have gotten replies within minutes.
Oh, wow.
So they're like
That's
very
nice.
supportive that way, and I guess that should be it. Yeah.
That's nice. I mean, if they are replying your emails,
Yeah.
and if you have any question, I think you should not hesitate.
Of course.
Reaching
Yeah.
out to them.
Yeah.
Not only DAD fellow
Yeah.
people, but also maybe your supervisor if
Yeah.
you need any help or any guidance for further. Let's say if you have, let's say, got selected for that, and you want to come here in Germany in that particular city, then yeah, feel free to reach out to professor as well.
Yeah,
Maybe
because-
to know about the city or maybe some certain things.
Lots of
about-
paperwork to
Yes,
do.
yeah,
so,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah.
So do not hesitate to ask for help
Yeah.
to anyone. Even you can reach out to lab members as well, right?
Yeah.
Not only the professor but also lab members who can help you
Yeah.
or guide you through that
Yeah.
other processes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's important. So yeah, talking about like Germany and Freiburg. So how was your experience till now living in Freiburg, especially University of Freiburg?
Freiburg, as a city, I feel it's really nice, and it's a small city with everything that you need, and that's what I like about it. The only thing living in Germany and in Freiburg as a challenge would be the language thingy. The language barrier is there, but I'm trying to learn, and learning a language is helping a bit.
Indeed, yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's a nice place to live in, and the university has like a very, I would say, community type environment, like a good community. So I think you can reach out to anybody, and they won't hesitate to solve your problems
Yeah.
anytime.
True.
So people are nice that way.
Yeah, true. I mean, Freiburg is more like international students are
Yes,
there,
yeah.
international environment is there,
Yeah.
so many people are there to help you.
Yeah.
So again, do not hesitate to ask for help. And language is indeed barrier, but if you know a little bit,
Yeah.
it's always good. And if you're going to other country, it's always good to learn a little bit so that you can interact with local people. And also, it's important because you are a PhD student, and most of the time you will be isolated
Yeah.
or living alone. So you
Yeah.
want to have some friends or going out, talk to people. So it's always good to learn a
Totally.
little bit of language.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, there are many people who speak English here, but still, it's good to learn to
Always.
avoid these barriers.
Always.
Okay, so what are your career aspirations, let's say, post PhD, and how this DART fellowship, because you are a DART fellow, so how it can be helpful, let's say, for your future, maybe for postdoc or in academic career, and also how, like, what do you think whether your professor or university can be helpful for future career options? Or,
So
yeah, go ahead.
So, as far as my post PhD career goes, I would say since I'm working in a plant science community, I really want to in future work in some application based things, which is most likely what I'm thinking is agriculture. So I would like to go into crops, work with crops in the
Okay.
future, because currently I'm working with model organisms. That's my first thing, and the DAD fellowship, to start with, helped me get here, because I did my masters during COVID, and there were a lot of problems for fundings and all that during that time. So for me to get a position was easier, but to get a funding was a lot more difficult. So getting a funding from DAD really helped me to start my career, to start my PhD, and in the future, if given a chance, I would love to do my postdoc with DAD fellowships if they allow. So they also have a provision of that.
Oh,
So you
nice.
can do your postdoc with DAD fellowships.
That's
So
nice.
I would love to do that.
That's nice.
Yeah.
And do they have like some career guidance or some extra, let's say, courses or something to develop your skills or something?
So for DAAD, they do give you, in some funding programs, there is a requirement to undergo a language course before you start your studies. That entirely depends on your funding program.
Okay.
But if you want to learn the language on your own, you can choose the institute and you can pay the charges there, and the DAAD allows you to take some of the reimbursement for the charges you pay for language learning as well. DAAD also helps you to provide you with some rent subsidy
Oh.
if you are living in an expensive place.
Okay.
So they do provide some portion of it. That's also nice. And they also recently, when I did my application, the DAAD scholarship amount was 1,200 euros, but now it was in October last year when I got here, it increased to 1,300, and I'm also getting some rent subsidy on top. So it's nice. I can survive. I can like live a good life here.
Yeah. So I mean, on top of your monthly fellowship, there are many kind of benefits, you can say,
Yeah.
or allowances are there. So
Yeah.
let's say, and what about for example, if you want to attend some conferences or something, so do they also provide travel grant or some money for conferences as well?
So for the DAED, they don't provide any money for conferences, as you would say,
Okay.
but they do provide you a research allowance about 460 euros per year,
Okay.
which you can use on the basis of your convenience.
Okay.
That goes directly into your account
Ah.
each funding year.
Okay.
And on top of that, they also provide a certain amount for your project to your supervisor directly. But that happens when you start working on your project, you are here, and then your supervisor can get that money from them.
That's nice.
Yes, and they also provide you health insurance,
Oh.
so that is also a nice thing.
That's wonderful then. I mean, I was not aware of that. I mean, I thought it's only the fellowship and rest of the things you have to cover. But yeah, I was also not aware. That's good to know.
Yeah.
So you get 1300 euro per month, which is sufficient enough to survive and also to save some money a little bit. And if you're getting, let's say, subsidy for a rental allowance or something, then it's perfect.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay much from your side.
Yeah.
If you're living in expensive apartment or so, and yeah, if we talk about South Germany, Freiburg, then it's quite expensive.
Yeah.
Living here, it's super expensive.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's nice to get these kind of allowance. Yeah, that's all what we wanted to cover. I mean, thank you very much for giving your time and providing insight to our audience from all the basic things of DART and about the fellowship and how they can, let's say, craft their application to make it a little bit better. And thank you very much for that. And I hope everyone liked this session, kind of interactive session on DART fellowship. So we will be covering more of these kind of sessions. Just write your questions and we will be happy to answer your specific questions
Anytime.
regarding DART fellowship or maybe PhD in Germany. So thank you very much.